Welcome back, my friends. A little bit of a hiatus. It's been 2 weeks since we've recorded our last podcast, Wes, but we are back. A little break before. Has it been 3 weeks?
Been 3 weeks,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
We
But
skipped two.
this is the first time we've ever taken a 2 week break. And I'll tell you what, it's been nice. We've been busy. So we did our whole
Yeah, there's something peaceful about not having to look into your face, for
Well,
almost 3 weeks.
I know, and it'll be even longer now because I'm not in Vegas with you. But yeah, so we finished up the WSOP prep series, 5 episodes. If you guys haven't yet, go check that out. We had a guest or multiple guests on each episode for all 5 episodes. So make sure to go check out the 2026 WSOP prep series. Now, WSOP is here. It's very exciting. I've been having a lot of fun sweating it from afar. Been watching the heads up, et cetera, et cetera. We'll get into all that. But Wes is actually in the mix, and week one is in the books. So let's go ahead and just kind of run by, what the hell's gone on so far.
Yeah, we'll do a little recap here. First off, I do want to say, like you mentioned, the streaming. The stream they have this year is just so much better.
It's incredible, dude. Yeah, the multi-table are like getting to see multi-tables. They have they have like a pre-show, multiple commentators. I heard people bitching about the commentators. I don't need high, theory analysis when I'm watching a stream, and I don't think that's good for overall poker anyways. I think more of like having more of a comedic flavor and just general good banter is more important for the larger audience.
Yeah, I almost think, and I understand this wouldn't really be the case, but if there was a world where they could have two streams, like one with the deep analysis and then
I saw someone on,
another.
yeah, someone on Twitter suggested, I think it was Pads or someone, but I kind of, I don't think they would do that because it splits up their audience in a sense. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of agree from a practical standpoint. I just know, like, way back when they had the, Norman Chad and Lon McCarran doing the ESPN episodes for the main event. Those were awesome in their own way. But I
Mhm.
also remember once they started actually streaming each day of the main event when they had Ali and Nick,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I love this too. And
Well,
so I think
Ollie
there's
and Nick,
certainly an
yeah.
audience for both.
Well, they had Ollie and Nick last night for the
They
final.
did.
Yeah, so it's like they mix up the commentators and stuff. I don't know. I don't think they deserve any sort of hard time yet at this point. It's been very, very cool.
Yeah.
Really enjoying. I remember, watching WSOP final tables dating back 15 years ago on YouTube before Poker Go had it, where it was what was his name? Oh my gosh, he did it. He did it by himself, and you'd get a player in there to join him every once in a while. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head, but anyways, it'll come to me.
Hmm. I know the guy's voice you're talking about, but I forgot his name too.
What's funny is people listening to this right now are probably shouting it at us, but
Yep.
I still
Yep.
can't. I still can't think of what it is. But anyways, yeah, it's or June 2nd as we record this.
Hmm.
You've been there since.
I got here the night, so it's Tuesday, June 2nd right now. I got here 8 days ago on Monday, which I think would have been the 25th.
It's been 8 days already, huh?
Yeah. So I got here that night, and then the very next day. So we'll just get into what I've played so far. The next day I played day one. Day one's, I think there were like five or six. There were 6 flights. I played day 1E of the Win 1100. There was
Bef-
actually day 1F that night,
Before we
but
get into the mix, can you kind of just to set the atmosphere or the kind of give people a picture of what's going on? Tell them like about where you're at, where you're staying.
oh sure, yeah. So I'm staying here in an Airbnb, nice house off the strip, maybe 20 minutes.
A couple of MN
Um,
crushers,
yeah, with a few other
a
Minnesota
couple past
people.
guests,
Yeah, John and Koo.
John Reddy
Got,
and Koo, yeah,
mhm. Um,
and hopeful
and
future guest Aaron Johnson.
yeah,
Aaron,
he's driving out here now, so it'll be a day or two still. And yeah, so I rented a car. Uh, we just kind of drive back and forth, and
okay.
it's it's
It's
kind of nice.
Yeah, it is nice to get off the strip and give yourself, after the tournaments to get out of a casino. So I get that.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. Back to the Win 1100.
Oh, good. Yeah. So we fired up the Win 1100, got in almost at the beginning of that. Um, I don't know. There were some interesting hands here and there. I ran pretty well right at the beginning, which I think gave me an image of a very loose player. But I was just no. To be fair, there was one funny hand. I was playing a little loose because there's a guy who was maybe a recreational guy in his 40s or 50s. Who, like, to be fair, he seemed quite competent. But I remember he opened the button. I called in the small blind with 9-8 off. And the big
Not even a
blind.
three bet, just a flat. I feel like that's the
Yeah.
worst of the options.
Um, I think it's okay because the big blind was another recreational. So part of the reason we don't flat this in general is because the big blind is gonna squeeze, the big blind, if they three bet enough, we just won't get to realize.
Okay.
But if we think the big blind's under three betting, which is gonna often be the case in live poker, I think it's perfectly okay.
Okay.
Like Jack 10 off is a normal flat. I think 10-9 off is close, and then 9-8 off. Like theoretically, you're not in there, but
Yeah, I guess the just my general thoughts real quick. I just prefer the three betting because we're out of position. Then we can take betting lead where we don't just have to check fold most flops.
yeah.
I
I think
mean, it's neither here nor there. You're probably 100, 200 bigs deep.
we were a little like this was probably, I think he made it 1100 and we were at the 500 level.
Gotcha. And as
Where,
I've expressed before, like you have the ability to know where you're at with ranges. So like you're not really just going to get dusted a pile with what if you make a pair.
for sure, yeah, we're not stacking off with top pair or anything. And I also think three betting in early stages of tournaments, I think people underfold. I don't
Oh,
think
for sure. We've discussed this
I,
too. People just have so many chips, they just call and call. My optimal play here is fold. Sorry.
yeah, I think theoretically it's optimal, but I think exploitatively we don't have to, but I think we can realize our equity enough and like you said, kind of know where we're at enough
Yeah.
where we're
And I don't want to pin you down on too many small plays here. Like I wouldn't ever do something like that. So you know what I mean? I'm saying I
oh
would
yeah,
do something like that. So
for sure. Like I know there there's certain times when we just kind of we feel comfortable playing a hand in a certain spot. And
yeah.
so, anyways, so I remember, I guess the point of this story more was there's a funny ending to it. So we get the 8-4-4 flop, we check called, turn 3, check. River 7, we bet like 40% pot and he sort of sigh calls. We win, and he mucks and he just said, "Oh, the disrespect." Like, he said something about how disrespectful it was, and I had to stop myself from smirking because I'm like, sometimes when people react that way, it's just kind of like, oh, they're being emotional. But I'm like, no, he's right. That was kind of disrespectful.
It
But
was. Oh,
it
it's
was
funny.
like a little bit more so. It was also towards the big blind in a way because I'm like, he's gonna three bet way too few hands, so it wasn't. I mean, it was a little disrespectful to the button, but also to the big blind.
What a great comment by him. I would have just looked at him and been like, expect more or something along the
Yeah,
lines.
yeah. I couldn't blame him, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
yeah, and he didn't even say it at me. He was sort of just muttering it like, "Damn," like that
Yeah, the
90
disrespect.
Um, and yeah, there were some spots like I remember there was just a guy who I could tell like he had called a three bet with queen five suited. So, I remember we flopped trips. We defended king three in the big blind, not the button. Sorry. um, and just flopped trip threes, went check raise, bet, and got most of his chips. And anyways, that's not even the hand history I wanted to get into. We're still on kind of how the week went. Um, so this tournament, we spun it up early. We kind of got cold. We won a couple all ins, blah, blah, blah. We ended up bagging a little below average stack, but we made the money. the funny thing is there were two players at the end of the night who I don't know if they had played poker tournaments before. So one of the guys clearly he was open ripping like 30 bigs. And one of the times he got looked up with and he had ace five suited and he outflopped queens.
Oh, we love to see this guy here at the table.
Yeah, he actually asked. He was confused if the tournament was over after the bubble burst.
Well, let me ask, do you guys bag right as bubble burst then? Is that how it works?
Yep.
Okay.
12.5%.
Okay.
And
so yes, so he just thought, okay, we get the min cash and that's the end of the tournament.
I don't know what he thought, but then the guy next to him. So at the win, what they did was after a certain point, they gave us time bank chips. So, no tanking, right? Or you could tank, but you have to
use your time chips. Clock. Yeah.
So there was a guy who he was taking his full time up until like he wouldn't use a time chip, but he used the full 15 seconds. Because he was short and we were like 3 off the money, 2 off the money, etc.
Oh yeah, he was tanking that bubble. Got it.
Yeah. But then when we got to the stone bubble, he was in the big blind. Someone, big stack raised, and this guy suddenly he starts using his time bank chips. I'm like, he's clearly tanking. And it's like, wait, dude, we're on the bubble. Like, it's hand for hand,
No, he didn't understand what hand for hand was.
Yeah. And eventually he went all in with queens and he doubled up. But he was trying to explain it to people like, no, but even if it's hand for hand, I want to see if someone else busts first. And it's like, no, you have to put chips in the bag to cash in this. Yeah. So he wasted his time banks. So he just like didn't get it.
This is an $1,100 buy-in event. We love to see players like this there.
We do. And actually it overlaid. It was a 1 million guarantee and they only got 855 entries.
I'm curious how that's going to reflect on the rest of the summer, right? I don't know. I guess we'll see. The mini mystery millions got like 20,000 entries or 21,000 or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see. I think numbers are going to be slightly down, but I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I do expect sub 10,000 in the main though.
I would agree with you. Yeah.
Sorry, continue. So you made day 2. What'd you bag? Like how many bigs?
I bagged 223K. And so we played to the 15K level, but one of the earlier flights played only till 10K. So we started in the middle of that level. So I had 22 bigs on day 2. And eventually, so I laddered up a bunch. Like there were 100 or so people on day 2. Got 35th for just over 4K. So for one bullet, that's a fine way to start the summer.
Oh, cashing your first tournament, if there's something about it just kind of gets you juiced. You're ready to you're ready to kind of just fire now. You're like, all right, we got your feet are wet.
Yeah, it feels sort of like,
and you're not going to just dust the first 10 tournaments. I mean, you could dust the next 10, but
you could, you can always dust the next 10 though. So
yeah, but that's not the case for you. You actually had a really good first week. So yeah, you cashed that. What was next on the agenda?
Yeah, so that was on Wednesday. So then when I busted day 2, it was too late to enter day 1B of the Mystery Millions. So I decided to play day 1C. I came in pretty late because I was picking up my rental car and stuff and whatever. So I registered with like 20 bigs, something around there. Anyways, my first bullet, I didn't win a hand. For 3 orbits, I think I just folded the blinds. I don't think I V-pipped a hand, which resulted in me losing half my stack. And then, blinds went up. I had like 7 or 8 bigs. And
this is the Mystery Millions, you said, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So then I jammed the button with 10-8 suited and lost to King 10. And so I didn't win a hand on the first bullet. I decided to just max slate reg again. Not again, but max slate reg that flight for the second bullet. And yeah, there were still technically 3 more flights, 2 more days, but there were 2 flights on the last day. So like, whatever. If we don't get it done here, we have a lot of chances.
Okay.
So I came in with 10 bigs and did get a lucky all in with the ace 10 of spades against, well, a 3-way all in. Ace 10 suited against queens, but then another guy who was just clearly tilted because he lost a huge pot. He called off both of our jams from the cutoff with 4-3 suited.
He's ready to go home.
Yeah, so whatever. Yeah, he
Yeah,
needed to make
whatever.
something happen, and boy, did he ever make something happen. But we got the ace right in the window and
Love that.
tripled up almost. So
That's huge.
that was huge. We had, had some other spots. There's one hand that we'll go back to from that, but we caught a couple punts like right before dinner. So I'll put this in perspective. There were 368 people cashed from this flight. So, we make the money in this tournament and then keep playing for a long time to get to day 2, but like you still want to make the money. There were like less than a level before the bubble burst. There was a guy who open ripped ace 4 off from like low jack for 10 or 11 bigs. I woke up with 7s and busted him in the big blind. Guy who 3-bet jammed for 6 big blinds with queen 4 off from the big blind.
What the?
Yeah. And it's like, I get it. You have 6 bigs. Like you can just defend that. And then if you catch any piece, go with it.
Yeah.
But you have no fold equity. Like you don't want to.
Well, no, yeah, we call it at the stop and go. It's far better than just jamming it. Yeah. And then you also gives the opportunity to just to not stop and go on any sort of really dusty flop for like, ace 5 deuce or something.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyways, there was some pretty bizarre play there. And there was actually right on the last level when people were playing really tight, a guy somehow punted it to me as well. So anyways, I spun it way up. I bagged. So starting stack was 25K. I bagged 1.33 million. And average stack going into day 2 is about 620, 630.
That's
Maybe
insane.
650.
Yeah. So I mean, I know you and I were talking, and it's like you have 1.3 million going into day 2. We looked at your table, your chip leader. You have a whole day off, so you're salivate. I mean, also, by the way, the feeling of having a day off while having a bag already is just great because you just on top. You're kind of on cloud 9 all the way until you play the tournament, right? You're like, there's just so much opportunity ahead of you still. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's nice to have it out in the future there, right?
Yeah.
So I actually had 2 days off, but
2 days off. Okay.
Yeah. So then on Friday, well, so Saturday I actually took off, but then Friday I played the $800 one day at Aria.
Before we get into that, what did you do on your day off? Just go on some walks? Like, what did you do to reset from poker?
Yeah, a bit. I did watch Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals. I know you're not a big sports person, but most of the audience a lot of the audience will watch it too.
I'm the minority there for sure.
Yeah, that was a classic series, but
I don't even know what sport that is.
Basketball.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did that on Saturday and, tried to sleep because as I'll explain, I was up very, very late on Friday. But for good reason. I did get 6th place in the Aria 800 for just over $8,000.
How many people were in that?
I think it was 293.
Oh shit, dude, that's such a fun run.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and just like getting 1 bullet, good cash in the win, 1 bullet in the Aria final table. And I'm already 2 bullets in the Mystery Millions, but we're already on to day 2 with a big stack. Like,
yeah, you really can't start a summer much better. This is an ideal start for sure.
It's a very good start. And
so you're up roughly what 12 to 14K at this point? All right, no, like 12K.
Yeah, I'd say like 10 or 11 plus. We don't know what the cash is for the Mystery Millions, so kind of just not counting that.
Not counting that, yeah.
In a bit here, we'll go back and talk a few hands, mostly from the Aria. But I'll just say, so on Sunday, went into day 2, excited to try and pull some bounties, and excited to try and make a deep run. I had one shot at a bounty, and so the guy with 9 big blinds woke up with aces. I had pocket sixes. And actually a third guy who had 14 bigs was in there with sevens. And so we tripled up the short stack, and then I lost the side pot too. So right off the bat, I lost like 40% of my chips, and I literally won one hand on that day too. I
That's
got a
pretty
bunch of
brutal. Yeah.
yeah, it was sad. I got a bunch of ladders, which are kind of small in
But
that, but
your 1.3 million was truly only like 30 something bigs, wasn't it?
yeah, big blind was 40K. So yeah, it
Yeah.
was 33 bigs.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was, it is what it is. I cashed for 2160. So
That's pretty sick. I
yeah,
mean, again, just another you got 3 caches under your belt already. Now you're up like 14K or something like that, roughly.
let me calculate it. So at this point,
8K,
we're up.
4K,
So we're
2K
up.
minus buy-ins.
Yeah, so we're up 2,900. We're up 99, 10.2, 11.3, I'd say.
Okay. Okay.
And then we max late reg the $600 bracelet event that night. Lost,
Dust.
hung out for a bit, like doubled up, but didn't
Yeah.
cash.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
at the same time, I'd played a couple saddies on my phone. One of them, I made it into this 1K 6 max online.
Yep.
So I continued to play this 1K 6 max, and I got fourth in that for 10 grand, 10.1K.
Okay. Okay.
So I spun it was a $50 satellite with a $50 add-on, got into the 1K buy-in and cashed that for 10K.
So you're already up roughly 20K in your first week, which is awesome. And that's not in just one score. That's over 4 scores at this point.
Yep. Yeah, we got we're up over 20K, and then that was Sunday. Monday yesterday, we finally had not such a good day. Busted 2 bullets in the 1500 6 max. Did fire the circuit a couple of 200, like 2 to 250 online events, and busted those. So right now I'm up like 17K, which
Okay.
is a great first week to the series. And yeah, and today, I don't know, there's so many events. Like one thing I'll say is, going into this summer, my plan was to play a little bit more of the other series, like, because at the World Series there's great weekend events for No Limit Hold'em, but there's not always, like, on your Monday and Tuesday, there's not always a great Hold'em tournament to play unless you're on a day 3 or 4
at the World Series. So you got to kind of go off to the Win or Aria.
Yeah, Win, Aria, Venetian. There's like $800 one days, 1,100 2 days, depending.
Yeah.
It fluctuates around, but there's always something good. So.
And then if you want something a little cheaper than that, like the $200 to $400 buy-in range, you can probably head over to either, like, I'm assuming the Orleans or the Nugget or something like that.
Yeah, probably. I haven't even looked at that, but there's also the daily deep stacks at the World Series, which the structures are kind of terrible.
Once you get, man, I've gotten, final 2 tables and those things multiple times, final table a couple times. And I mean, it's, to say it's terrible is an understatement. Like, the blind levels, like, it does that one. This is the most atrocious blind level change, in my opinion, but it goes from the 10K to the 15K blind level and just skips 12K.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially,
Yeah.
you're stacked. You're like, if you have, we'll say if you have 100 bigs, all of a sudden you have, I don't even know what's the math, 60 or something. Yeah, it drops. I don't know. It's just significant.
It skips a lot of levels,
but it does that multiple times in a row. So all of a sudden, like, the average stack is 8 big blinds with a couple tails left.
Yeah, it'll go to 1K skips 12 to 1500 to 2K, skips 25, goes to
Yeah.
3K.
There's not essentially at 2 tables, 3 tables, maybe 4 tables even or less. There's not really poker being played. It's just like an all in. It's you just have to know pre-flop essentially.
Yeah, and get lucky.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those aren't my favorite, but they're there. So,
Yep. Yep. So, okay. So a nice hot start for you. I'm by the way, I didn't say this on the pod yet, but I got the approval to come down to play the Millie Maker. So that's sick.
that is.
The wife
So
gave me
yeah,
the okay.
you're going to be yeah, that'll be fun.
Yep.
I'm
So
glad you're going to be able to get out here for
I'll
at least
fly
some of
in.
it.
Yeah, I'll fly out for that and then come back. I was planning on playing the main, but that is actually not going to happen because that's when my wife's maternity leave ends. So she's going back to
Mhm.
work the week the main starts. So unfortunately, I'll have to skip the main this year. But you know what? There will always be more.
Yeah, there'll be more. There's always more poker and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. But I've
you got
been,
stuff to take
don't get
care
me
of.
wrong though, I've been able to grind a lot online. There's been, um, the global, excuse me, the global poker series, the Rattlesnakes went on. I think I final tabled 6 events in that series. Fucking Daniel Kennedy, excuse my
I
language.
was gonna say, are we gonna? I mean,
God. I mean, yeah, I'll just give him a platform once again. It just drives me nuts. You know what? I have to give credit where it's due because this man, you guys have heard us talk about him a lot. He's a Minnesota dude, but you just want to talk shit to him. I can't help it. But he,
well, to be fair, the whole reason he got into our circles because he's like the king of shit talking.
yeah, that's
That's like
true.
how he connects.
But so he, 2 tournaments at Canterbury in a row. The 800 main he got second in, and then the 400 multi-flight he got first in. So he's absolutely crushing it in live poker this year. But then in the Rattlesnake series, he won three. He won three
Three
rattlesnakes,
trophies.
three
Yeah.
trophies, including finishing the PLO main. He won that. Shout out to Taylor Moss as well, a rec poker dude who won
Yeah.
the Eagle, or not the Eagle, the Rattlesnake main event for like 27, 28K, something
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, shout out to both of them. They absolutely crushed it. But yeah, so
You had
and
a
then
side bet with them, right?
yeah, I did have a little side bet with them. Honestly, it was kind of dumb because they were able to play every event, and I played maybe a quarter to maybe 30% of the events they played, but I still did good, right? I final tabled 5 or 6 events. So
Yeah,
um,
that's good.
yeah, so needless to say, I didn't win that bet. But anyways, then yeah, I played the tournament Daniel won the 400 at Canterbury. I ended up getting 10th out of 600, so that was decent. Had a blunder in there with like 11 or 12 left where I made a light call off where I was like second in chips. So anyways, neither here nor there. Let's do some hand breakdowns from your trip so far.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So we'll do one from the Mystery Millions. It's kind of quick, but it was a weird spot. So we kind of got bailed out too. I'll just spoil that part.
Okay.
But um so we small blind was a rec player, and we know this because it was blinds were 2K, 4K, 4K ante. He clicks it to 8K from the small blind, which out of position you don't want to
Yeah, that's too
do
small.
the min raise. But we only started the hand. So after the ante, we have 54K behind. So we only have like 14 bigs, 13 and a half. We look at 10-7 off and defend.
Yep.
The flop is Jack 8-8 rainbow.
So we got a gooder.
Gutter, not to the nutter, but we
No,
have a
it's
gutter.
it's not a gutter to the nutter. And it's on a it's on a pair board too, but not that matters too much at this point.
Yeah. So the pot is 20K. He bets another 8K, which is already dicey because we don't have a lot of chips. We have 46K at this point.
You
But
make
I'm
it
like,
you make it 17K.
no, I just call. I
I'm just
figure,
kidding.
yeah. No, I see what you mean though, where it's like, well, we could.
If you're deeper, obviously you could make a play like that, but yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, in position, I think it's fine to just flat. I think, we're not just trying to realize equity. It's like if he doesn't have a made hand, hopefully we can just steal it on the turn. Our 10 and 7 are live a decent amount too, but
Good point.
we call pot is 36K. We have 38K.
Okay.
The turn is a 6. So
Six.
nothing for us.
It's 6 8 8
Jack.
Jack. Yeah. Okay.
But he checks.
Okay.
And so what's your thought here? Pot is 36K. We have
You have
38.
one SPR. It's like there's a couple thoughts that go through your head. It's like, do we have 10 high, so like we want like we're not gonna win unless we bet at this point. Like the only way to win this pot at this point is to bet. But so it's like, do we take that option or do we somehow try and realize our equity by hitting one of our pairs or catching the straight? So and that's the case. We have what? We have six, 10 outs or something.
10 outs. Yeah.
Um, 10 outs isn't terrible to just kind of see a free one. And so you said there's 30, how much in the pot?
36 in the pot. We have 38.
I want to see you bet like 11.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's exactly what I did.
Really?
Yep. I was like, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my thought here is some random ace high, we can just get him off.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he's probably not even supposed to fold it, but I think he will.
Well, it sounds like he didn't fold it because you said you got bailed out. You disclaimed.
Called, and this is the moment where it's like, oh God, am I gonna bust this stupid tournament with 10 high?
Which one of those 10 outs did you hit?
River is a 10.
Okay, so you hit your top card. Okay, got it. Yeah. Okay. And it
so
goes
nice
check.
I'm like checks and then I snap check because we're not gonna get called. Now all of my draws get there in some fashion.
What if he just has like pocket fives? He's probably still not calling.
Dude, what the fuck? He actually had pocket fives. I'm not okay. To the listeners, like, we did not talk about this before.
He had pocket fives. That's so funny.
I checked back. Yeah. He literally rolls over pocket fives and we win with a 10.
Wes, I'm just the greatest. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So okay. Yeah. I mean, it's hard for him to call anyways, but okay. So you won that pot. That's a fun hand, actually.
It was fun because it's also, I guess, one of the other things is, let's say the river's a 3. Are we jamming for slightly under half pot here? When nothing comes in.
Yeah. I wonder if you'd fold pocket fives. Who is this guy? Like, what's your? Just curious. Like, what's the read on him? How old is he? I guess is my first question.
Yeah, like maybe 40. Kind of maybe a 40-year-old rec player. Kind of.
Gotcha.
I don't know how to describe him. He's not
You got to watch out for them 40-year-olds. They're sticky.
Yeah, he seems like someone who is. He's not like inherently nitty. Like he probably plays some 1-2 home games with the boys.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fun hand. So so that kind of gave you some life in the wait, this is on the bullet you bagged?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, that was a quick one. I actually have a couple of very interesting hands from the Aria though. Here's the most interesting one. There's you know what? Because we're gonna do it chronologically, we'll do the less interesting one first, just because that was slightly earlier.
I saved the best for last, Wes. This is we got it.
So in this spot, we start with 55K. The big blind is 2,500. So we have 22 bigs.
Yep.
We look at ace of hearts, ace of clubs, which is a good starting hand.
You said this is the win tournament?
The Aria.
The Aria tournament.
Okay. 800 Aria one day.
Got it.
So we have 22 bigs. We have aces. We make it 5K from under the gun +1.
Okay.
And who was it? It was either the low jack or the hijack calls, and then the button calls.
Both have you covered?
Both have us covered, but not. They're both between maybe like 60 to 80.
You could put a dent in them.
Yep. And they're both like within, probably in their 30s, or one of them maybe late 20s. Like, no, I'd say 30s. They're both like competent. I don't know if they're great players, but they're certainly like, I don't think they're going to be in here with some random nonsense.
By the way, before we continue this hand, I was just thinking about that last hand you were saying. Like, if you have pocket fives in the small blind, and your
Just rip
and your
range.
big blind has 14 bigs, you go all in every time.
Yep. Yep.
So
Yeah, that's
okay,
the
I
bet.
had to get that out. Okay,
So that
no,
I got lucky in that sense
yeah,
too.
yeah. He's just min clicks. It's the reason we don't want to min click this year is because almost always there's going to be three cards over cards, and you just kind of in no man's land. So it's like, and yeah. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, you get to fold up like 10-7 snap folds, and it's like instead of playing out a position against a hand you're flipping against, you just
Yeah,
win a
yeah,
small pot. So
yeah.
I think that's a good point, though. Well said.
I will. Let me ask you before we go back to this hand. Here we go. Going back in time. But anyways, how many
Or
big blinds are you jamming up to? Like, I want to say, like, if I had like 22 bigs, I might still just rip it here. Or if
oh,
the
with
big
the
blind,
fives,
if the big
yeah,
blind had two like 22 bigs, it's probably 22 to 24 bigs, somewhere in that range. Is
damn. I would go a
that
little less. I would go maybe 17, somewhere between 15 and 20.
15 and 20
Like
for you? Okay.
between 20 and 30, I would probably limp. And then if big blind raises, I
Between
would
15 and
jam
30? You mean 25, 30?
20 and 30.
20 and 30. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing is I really don't mind limping these hands either.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
it's when we're deeper rather is what I guess my point was. But
right. Yeah. It's like, it's not a hand you necessarily want to bloat from the small
no,
blind.
no, because then your opponent calls, and again, you're just kind of in no man's land unless you flop a set. So,
Mhm.
all right, back on.
Yeah. Good point, though. Um, I think that's good to mention. So, okay. So we have pocket aces, club, we have the club and the heart, and the hijack. I think it was hijack and button called, and the blinds folded. So the pot is 21.5K, and we have like 50K, maybe 50.5K
Yep, yep.
behind. And the flop comes 10 of diamonds, 4 of diamonds, 3 of spades, or maybe the 3 and 4 were flop, but
There's
10, 3,
two
4, 2
diamonds.
diamonds. Yep. So this is already interesting because like, what are you? Tell me your thoughts on the flop. You've been just fucking nailing it today. So
Sorry, 10, 4, 3, 2 diamonds.
yep, and we
And
have
you
aces, no diamond, out of position.
aces, no diamond out of position. And you have now 20 bigs behind or something.
Yep, SPR is like 2.4 maybe.
I mean, I'm not really worried about any turn cards really too much. I'm not really, I mean, I know we're three-handed here. I don't know if I'm gonna nail this one, but I would say my initial reaction says to check.
Yeah, and so I actually did check.
Okay, we nailed it.
Um,
Let's go.
yeah, just but I guess what I'm thinking too is like I don't know that there is a perfect because I can see arguments for check, small bet, or big bet.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I was leaning towards check or small bet. I just feel like it's kind of just a blank enough board where we're gonna lose value by betting big too much at a frequent rate, but maybe I'm wrong.
I could see like it might be like if it was 10-7
Mm.
4 or something where there's more interaction, like the 8-9 suiteds, the Jack-9
Maybe it's
suiteds.
important to talk about why we land on check here. And
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
and because I have a feeling like a lot. I mean, people who've played a lot of poker kind of intuitively might know why we check here, but for people who are maybe more amateurs, they kind of they don't want their aces to get run out on, right? So they bet for defense. But it's like our hand is so strong on this board, and there's two opponents behind us who are probably going to either be willing. Again, we're not really worried about a lot of turn cards, and we want to keep their bluffs in. So let our keep. We want them to put chips in the pot, essentially. So
We wanna our goal is to get our whole stack in here,
yeah, yeah,
pretty much.
yeah.
So the idea, and here's what I was kind of thinking is like, okay, they can have stuff like king, queen, maybe some other suited broadways, maybe some medium pocket pairs, maybe some ace jack. And it's like, okay, if we were to bet small, we can get floated by like king, queen with a diamond,
That's why I like small too. Yeah.
maybe ace X of spades because there's the one spade. We can get calls from pocket five, sixes, sevens. If we bet big,
A 10.
we fold
Mm,
those.
yeah, yeah. And we're getting value from like a 10. And probably pairs under 10 are folding more than likely.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the only argument to betting big here is because we don't have the diamond, there will be more flush draws in the range. So it's like we
mhm,
want to get in the money now against that
yeah.
stuff
But
and
even,
charge it.
but checking here, it's likely that they're going to bet it anyway. So now we can just check jam on them.
Exactly. So my thought is if one of them has a 10, they're going to bet probably.
Yeah.
Diamonds, they'll probably bet. And even if they have like nines, eights, sevens, sixes, fives, they might take a stab with that too.
Well, not only that, but it's like if they do have one of those middling pairs, it's not a three street hand, so it's more likely you'll get paid by showing weakness on the flop by getting a street later on from those kind of hands, Turner Rivers.
Yeah, and by checking, we do allow them a chance to like, let's say one of them has queen nine of spades because there's the one spade on board, and they decide to take a stab. That's the sort of hand we don't get value from by betting, but
Hmm.
we could get a little money out of by checking, right? So I think checking, I could see the small bet too, but I think checking was the best in the moment. And yeah, if we face a big bet, we can check jam. If someone bets like 5K, we can make it 16 and then jam turn.
Yeah, yeah, I like it.
Um,
I'm assuming this hand didn't just. I mean, like, yeah, there's something happened with this hand if we're talking about it.
it,
So
so actually, well, it checked around.
okay, it did. And again, this is a result we're not too worried about.
Yeah. The turn though is it's a dime. It's the third diamond. It's a seven of diamonds. So it
Naturally.
does sort of smack. Like I think they would bet a lot of flush draws, but I think especially the guy in the middle is going to check some flush draws because he'll wait to see what the button does.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
not.
I agree.
Yeah, we don't think either of them has a flush here, but obviously we would prefer a non-diamond on the
Yeah,
turn.
yeah.
So now this is weird because it's sort of the same thing. Like we think we're ahead. Do we want to check, bet small, or bet big?
Now, see, here's the difference between now and the flop is now there's going to be a lot more hands that are containing a diamond that we're going to get value from. Um,
Yeah.
and then there's also maybe some straight draws in there that might have a diamond as well, or some
Yeah,
of
like
mine.
fives with a diamond has a
Yeah.
ton of equity against us.
Yeah, yeah. So at this point, I'm probably going to size up a little bit, maybe like 60% or something like that.
Yeah, you're nailing it. I went even bigger than that. I went like closer to pretty much like 65. I went 13.5K.
Okay, okay,
So actually, yeah, pretty like somewhere in the 60s%. And they both folded.
okay.
There wasn't like a
No, but
much
it's still an
drama.
interesting hand. With it's much different because there's multi-way. So
Yeah.
I guess I'd still maybe just play it the same way, even if it was heads up. But
Yeah. Yeah. But I think it's interesting in the sense that we have a lot of options that
yeah,
there's some justification for.
okay, okay, I like that
Um,
hand too.
and okay, so I realized we have two more hands, and one of them we did out of order because there was one hand from day two of the win
We got
that,
time, so let's do it.
yeah, we got the time. So we're gonna rewind the clock. Excuse
Okay.
me.
Yep.
We're gonna go back to day two of the win. Um, we're getting down. There's 5 tables left at this point, maybe 4. I don't know. So the hand history, we have 355K at 25K. So we have like 14.2 bigs. And we are under the gun with pocket nines. It's 9 of diamonds, 9 of spades. I don't know. 9 of diamonds is the relevant suit.
Yeah.
We make it 50K min raise.
Can we talk about this for a second as well? This is
Yeah.
something you'll see a lot of people on 14 bigs just jam from under the
Mm-hmm.
gun. And I think this is a great spot for us to just min raise because the truth is we still have it's full ring, right? You got
Yep.
9 people at the table. I mean, this is a hand we can get away from if there's a 3 and a 4 bet.
Yep. Yeah, there is. And like there is some merit to jamming, but I fully agree with you where we don't want to.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, yeah, we get to we get to take down the pot more, but also, yeah, this late in the tournament, people aren't going to be disrespecting the under the gun min open off
Yeah.
14. Like people aren't going to come after us when they see the min raise.
Yeah.
And so
Okay.
anyway, so it folds to the big blind who defends. So pot is now 140. And the flop is 8-5 deuce, all diamonds.
You have the 9 of diamonds. Yeah.
We have nines, 9 of diamonds.
I love these overpay monotone when we open. We have an overpair with the flush draw. I mean, it's better when you have aces in the situation with ace diamonds, obviously. But
Of course, yeah.
it's not a bad flop.
Yeah. So he checks, and
you have 12 bigs.
12 bigs. I just bet tiny. I bet 35.
I mean, that's kind of like the rule of thumb on these monotone boards, right? We're just kind of. I mean, our plan here is to bet call off, obviously, at this point.
Yeah, and like he,
what was the full board?
8-5 deuce,
8-5
3
deuce.
diamonds.
Okay.
So he's big blind, so he can have any of those pairs. He can also have, like, if he just has king jack with no diamond, we're fine. Just he only has 4 outs, but we're still fine just not letting him realize the equity. And if he has a 8-5 or deuce or a straight draw, he can come along with a hand that probably doesn't have much equity. Obviously, any bigger diamond has a ton of equity, but we're with our range. Like if we had queen jack of hearts here, let's say, we would want to bet tiny to try and get a few folds from the weak stuff.
You can too on these monotone boards. You just kind of fold out the nothings and just kind of wash away that equity. Yeah, it's nice.
So he check calls. We bet 35K, so quarter pot he calls. Pot is 210.
Okay.
The turn is a little annoying. It's the ace of clubs. And it's annoying because I don't know that sometimes he's going to check raise the ace of diamonds, but he can have he can defend big blind with
how many chips did he have?
Plenty.
He had you covered.
More than us. Okay. Yeah.
And you have like what behind 10 bigs?
We have 12, 11 behind now. So we have 270K.
Okay. Behind. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that does suck. Do we just go check?
I used my full 30-second. Remember, because there's a time bank here. So there was part of me that wanted to bet small again.
Yeah.
Because we could maybe get a call from an 8 again, and we could let's say he has queen 10 with a diamond.
Yeah, there's still some, equity to deny here by betting small.
Yeah, and even if he calls, like, we're ahead and we can just check back the river.
Yep.
Ultimately, at this stage of the tournament, it's like it would be so brutal to get check jammed on with this hand.
Yeah, agreed.
And if our plan is to bet small, like, we're not getting that much more value by betting anyways. And it is like, okay, we do have the diamond, so we're less afraid of diamond rivers. Like if we had nines with no diamond, I might bet fold more comfortably.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But we decide to check. And I was saying, like, he can have any ace pre-flop. And so even if he has ace 7 with 7 of diamonds, like, he got there on the turn. He can have some gutters with ace 3, ace 4. He can have ace 5, turn 2 pair, any ace with a diamond. Like, he does have a ton of ace X. So it goes check. And the river is the 6 of diamonds. So we river. This is basically a baby flush because
all the low ones are blocked. Yeah.
Right. So it's 8-5 deuce, 3 diamonds, ace of clubs.
It's another spot where if he check, like, we don't mind bluff catching, but like if he checks, I'm probably checking back.
I think I'm checking back too, and expecting to win a lot.
I would probably stop. I would probably start betting if I had like the jack of diamonds.
I like that.
Yeah.
So let's see, the pot is 210. He bets exactly half. He goes 105.
So annoying. I mean, we're just flick it in, I think.
That was my initial instinct. So okay, and I'm not going to say what I did yet,
Okay.
but
Well, it sounds like you didn't do that because maybe I'm wrong though. But it's I don't know how much was in the pot compared to your stack.
so he 210 in the pot. So once he bets, the pot's 315. We're getting exactly 3-1. If we were to call and lose, we'd have 165. So we'd have like 6 big blinds, and we're headed into the big blind.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
More so now, to be clear, I'm sure the solver is snap calling. It's an easy call in theory, right? I think the reason I considered folding is because when you think about the hands that are supposed to bluff here, a lot of times it's like a 5. I didn't look it up, but I'm assuming that it would be a weak one pair hand, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, do I think people are actually doing that?
Yeah, and it sucks because he's not floating you on the flop with just two naked, no diamonds, like King Jack of black, something like that. So
Yeah.
it's like we're just kind of removing all that air.
Yep. And any straight draw got there at least made a pair, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
that's
then
where
they would
it's
check down, and then you'd think they'd kind of want to take it a showdown in some sense, maybe
yeah, I think a good player would know to take a deuce or a 5 and turn it into
into a
a
bluff.
bluff,
Right, right.
but I don't know that humans are doing that at the
Yeah, and
frequency
not
a solver would.
for sure, for sure. So
And we don't beat value. Like, I don't think he's value betting a 7 of diamonds because I can still have a bunch of.
I absolutely need to know right now what happened.
I did call.
Okay, you did.
And
Okay.
he had king queen with king of diamonds.
Yeah, see, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes
It
sense.
makes sense.
Because
And
king queen off, oh no diamond is probably just folding the flop.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it is what it is.
So what it was, yeah, it's another close spot.
I wonder. Hmm. Huh. I wonder if he's probably still calling if you bet small in turn.
Maybe, yeah. It's tricky because if I bet small on turn, he could think like, oh, now my pair outs aren't good. Or
Yeah,
maybe if
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
up
I could
against
just be
this.
dead if he
Yeah.
has ace of diamonds. It's possible. Yeah. Who knows?
Anyways, yeah, not to be results oriented. I don't have a problem with any of the decisions in the hand, but I think both turn and river are kind of interesting.
Yeah, it was a good hand. I like it. You got one more for us?
Got one more.
Let's do it.
Um, and this is back in the Aria one day. So we have 180K at 4K big blind.
40 bigs,
We,
right? Is that
yeah,
right?
45.
45 bigs, yeah.
Folds to us on the button, and we have ace 10 offsuit. The suits aren't going to matter, but I think it's diamond club. And we opened to 8K. The big blind is a seemingly quite a good player. I think like Argentinian. I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah,
Gotta
good,
watch out for the
clearly good player.
Argentinians.
And he defends, and he has he might have 185K. So we have essentially the same stack. And the flop is 993 rainbow. So pot is 22K.
You can go both ways on these boards, in my opinion. And it always sucks, though, because it's like, there's a couple of things I hate about this. Is it's like I always want to bet small here just to fold the nothings, but the good players will check raise this a lot, which
Mhm.
incentivizes me to not see bet. So now I got to check back, but then that allows them to realize equity more frequently. So it's just like a headache, right? So
Yeah.
against
I
Argentinians, we just kind of got to check back. These people who we are capable of check raising, we're probably gonna just try and take it to showdown as much as possible.
I that one I disagree with because I think just because they check raise a lot, it's just we can still just play well against that.
You
Um,
like call the check raise, yeah.
with a decent amount of stuff, right? Like not 100%, but this is the sort of board where I think we want to just range bet small.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm
And
saying. Right. Yeah.
yeah. And I think even if so I'll explain it from solver terms, but we can apply it, to our actual games too. A solver will, despite the fact that the solver wants to check raise a ton from the big blind's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
the solver also wants the in position player to like range bet small. So it's like, even if we are getting check raised a lot, it's not that we should stop c betting. It's we should just figure out how to proceed against the check raises.
That makes
Right.
sense, which is call.
Yep. So we bet 5K into 22K
Yep.
and he makes it 15K.
Okay, naturally. Yep. This is as expected. Okay.
I'm like, buddy, just fucking fold.
Yeah, no, they can't help themselves. It's funny though, because you still have like a lot of the times here, you just have a ton of equity.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have the best hand against all their bluffs, right?
Well, let's see. So if they have six, say they're just doing this with it was 8-8 deuce, you said?
One up, 993.
9-3-8-8 deuce. Nine. I'm
That's
so good
funny.
at I'm so good at that.
Yeah.
But I mean, so you'll see a lot of check raise from hands that have like backdoor straights, like 7-8 or
Five.
8-10.
Yeah, usually like double backdoors, right? So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
can be
yeah.
10-8 suited with a backdoor, 5-4
Yeah.
suited.
Yeah, something that has some backdoor options. Yeah, so I think we call here, but yeah, anyways, now we kind of know it's oftentimes they don't have air. So like if those cards comes, we can kind of proceed cautiously.
Yep. So the pot is now 52K after we call. The turn is the jack and it brings full rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no backdoor flush draw now.
Mm-hmm.
Pot is 52. He bets 14K.
So fucking annoying. Excuse my language.
No, I've said it a few times too.
I mean, here's the thing. It's like we just got to keep him honest, right? Because now some of his hands have a gutter of some sort, so he's incentivized to bet.
Yeah,
he
or
also
open-ended, right?
Or open-ended, or he sometimes has Jack 10.
Yeah, well, Jack 10 would be a reason to fold, but yeah, you're right though. Like and here's another thing too. When the full rainbow comes, he can also look at my range and be like, okay, I'm going to float with a lot of double backdoors. So now I can't have turn to flush draw. So he's like, maybe I can bet small to just fold out like, the whatever,
The
king
floats.
8 of spades,
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But then the thing for me is I'm like, okay, well, what is he? I mean, maybe he has a 9, but first off, he can still be bluffing. We can be ahead. Second off, we're getting close to 5-1 here. And he could still, like, even if, let's say his value, he could have a 3 or pocket 4s, 5s, 6s. We now have 9 outs against that, where it's like we can just kind of, we have the right price to get there against one of those hands too.
Yeah. Are those hands inflating the pot like this?
I think they're definitely check raising, or they're definitely part of his check raising range. And
I
think
feel like after you call, they might be checking a lot, but maybe I'm wrong.
They might be. They also might do that small bet because they want to kind of fold out equity.
Well, and they also set the price to see the river.
I decide to call.
Okay. I still like it. I still like it. It's, I guess you have ace 10, right?
Yep.
Okay. Less likely as Jack 10 now, but yeah.
Yeah. The river's the 8.
That's a terrible card.
It kind of sucks because now 10-8 improves. Queen 10 obviously gets there.
Yeah. It's pretty much a bad run up for what we're hoping to bluff catch,
Yeah.
He might.
So we're gonna fold if he.
Yeah, but he might just check an 8 at this point, right?
Yeah. So he checks.
Okay. Oh God. Oh no. But you're uncapped. I mean, you're capped, but like you have you can have aces.
I could have a 9.
Oh yeah, you're uncapped. You are uncapped, correct. So like now it's like, do we just turn our hand into a bluff? Because
this time I'm gonna say what happened first, and then we can analyze it.
All right.
I thought for a long time, because I sort of felt like I should bet like 55 to 60K here.
All that's going on in Wes is just SpaceX and going to the moon, just launching.
Right, about to launch it, and then there's sort of this like, but the doubt creeps in where he could be getting sneaky with a 9 sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm also like, it's the moment of, "Oh, I still have a bunch of chips," and, like and then the awareness of,
The human
"Oh, I've been
thoughts,
taking
man. Yeah.
and then yeah, you know that awareness where it's like, "I've been taking a long time, and he's staring me down," and I'm like, "Whatever, I
And
check."
will it even make sense at the yeah, would it even make sense to because it's like, you're just stirring something up in there. Like
Yeah.
so, yeah, so I do understand that timing actually matters. So
Yeah.
so you check back
Yeah. And
and he had an 8.
no, he had pocket 4s.
He had 4s. Okay. So he did
So
check. Yeah.
that made it more annoying because it's like, oh, he had exactly one of the hands
You
that
could get the fold.
I should be easily able to get a fold from.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
But
no, I did actually wonder. I'm like, there is a world where he heroes. Probably not on this run out with that hand because I am uncat. Like I can have the queen tens and the 9 and
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
whatnot.
the only hands he's beating at this point that you're floating with is like king, queen, ace, king, ace, queen.
Yeah, king 10 turns a gutter too. Like
Yeah.
yeah, some ace highs and some king queen king 10, which
Uh,
is a
oh
chunk of
man. Yeah,
stuff.
but
But
it sounds like you did quite well in recovering from that. And
I
yeah.
did a couple orbits later. He
Why
triple
isn't the
barreled it
why
up.
isn't the
And
river just like an 8 or a jack? That would have been sick.
it was an 8.
I mean, wait, the 9 9. Oh, sorry. Why wasn't the river a jack? I guess that's the only one I can
Yeah,
be
a
thinking of.
jack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, a jack. Just a
yeah.
counterfeit. I was looking for the counterfeit card, but he might bluff
That's
that
okay.
too.
Yeah, that's okay. We took like 200K off of him a couple orbits later.
You did? Okay, okay.
Yeah, he tripled it off
Have you
into
played
us.
with any notables yet? This series?
Briefly. So on my second bullet of the six max, I had Daniel Weinman
Okay.
uh,
Yep.
on my
Crusher.
left, main event champ.
Daniel Winmain,
Win main, yeah, the main event winner from was it 23 he won? I think
something
it was
like that. Yeah.
23.
All because of that Jack's hand, that very famous Jack's hand. Remember that where he got it in versus like King
Yeah,
and Aces or something like that.
Kings. I think it was Kings, Queens, and Jacks, and he
Yeah, something
turned.
like
Did he
that.
turn it? I think he turned it.
Yeah, I don't know, but that propelled him into a W. What a
Yeah.
spot.
Other notables, I don't know. I mean, there are some. There are a few semi notables. I feel like I've played with. Maybe not even a few. Like a couple that I'm aware of, but I don't think the general public would be like well-known grinders if you're part of the community. But
Yeah, yeah, but not like
yeah.
TV names that you would actually be recognizable. What's the atmosphere like this year? Is it the same as always? I know they moved the main stage over to Paris now.
Mhm.
What's the dark room at Horseshoe like? What like the old stage room?
Yeah, I think there's still one TV table in there, or
Is
there's at
there?
least one kind of featured table that's
Okay.
closer to the entrance, or it's like where the main one was recently.
Mm-hmm.
But there's just a lot more normal tables set up. Like it
Mm.
goes all the way back to where that stage area
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
And then the other horseshoe room is the exact same. Atmosphere is pretty similar, although I haven't spent as much time at the World Series yet because I've been at Win and Aria as well. But yeah, it feels like the World Series. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
the new so in the Paris, the main stage, is that in the main ballroom or is that in a different ballroom?
It's in the same ballroom.
Sorry, but I meant like all of the like the streaming tables and stuff. That's all in that big ballroom.
Yeah, the streaming tables are in that big room,
That room
the
is
ball.
huge. That
Yeah.
room is so big, dude. Yeah. Okay. I'm excited, man. I mean, I am itching to get out there. I'm
Yeah.
thankful that Club WT Gold has those has the Crown series going on right now. Can you play those in Vegas? Just curious. I don't
Yep.
think you can. Okay.
Yeah, you can. I haven't yet. I've only fired a few uh couple satellites and then that 1K and then I
Mm.
yesterday there were a couple 200
I probably
somethings.
should make this announcement too, and disagree with me if I'm wrong, but you cannot play clubs while you're in Vegas, right? So
Correct.
our
You
home
can't
game,
play.
which it would be tonight, is on hold until probably the end of the WSOP.
Yep. You can't play clubs. You can't play global. So
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing those hands. Those were fun to break down. Yeah, and then also just, congrats on the heat so far. Let's hope that you can carry this. I truly think you're just going to have an outstanding summer, and I hope that's the case. I hope I come out there and bing something right away too. That would be so sick. But
Yeah.
I won't be out there for too long, but I'll be back here sweating, as many of you have already know. Life is good on this end, though. Been busy with real estate, been busy with the baby. Um, yeah, just life is good. It feels good to get back and recording an episode here. We'll be back to doing the weekly stuff now that the WSOP is here doing, week one, week two, week three, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Yeah. And we might like, who knows, we'll do it consistently. It's sort of like the
who knows what
recording
day?
depends on when we
Yeah.
got time. Yeah.
Typically we release on Thursdays. It's going to be a little bit, and this has been the same for past years too. So it's
Yeah.
just like, the schedules are a bit tight with Wes and Matt and trying to align with between the hour difference, but also his tournaments and my schedule. So we will be releasing each week here, and yeah, I'm excited. It's just the beginning, baby. It's WSOP 2026. So, guys, if you're heading out to Vegas and you want to stay warm in one of those huge ballrooms, make sure to check out the Tilted Compass website. Get some Suited Kings merch from there. All right. Or just, even if it's not Suited Kings merch, just pick up one of their own hoodies or backpacks. Um, the Suited Kings merch, though, we greatly appreciate that. Rep the brand. You're not going to get in any trouble with the WSOP logo laws that they're implementing lately.
Do we
But
know that?
yeah, because, well,
I think we might need to email them.
no, because it's not. You're good to go. You're good to go. From what I've heard, you're good to go. I mean, I was watching the YouTube stream, and there's people decked out in ACR gear.
Because they got approval though.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, somehow they
Yeah,
got approval, but like Coin and Phenom
but let
didn't.
me also mention that ours doesn't even say that. It just says Suited Kings on it. Like it could be just a clothing line. It doesn't, you know what I mean?
I'm certainly sure we'll be fine. I should probably send them an email right now just to like.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it. But
Yeah.
guys, anyways, just wear
But
it.
please wear our gear.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, do it
Yeah,
and buy
appreciate
it
it.
all.
And yeah,
And
buy it all.
tip us handsomely for it.
And then while you're at the tables, tell people about the podcast. Let them know.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, we appreciate that. We're trying to grow this thing. And while you're at that, pause right now and give us 5 stars so we can get higher on the search engine optimization or search list.
And click follow or subscribe.
And leave comments and just
And also like
help our
go
algorithm.
door to door and talk about our podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the new, the new what are they called again? The
We should
Jehovah's Witness
have,
or something?
Yeah, we should have Suited Kings missionaries.
Door to door, guys. Sell the podcast for us. We appreciate it. We don't, this is something that we don't get paid. We don't, literally ad free for you guys. We've been hit up to do ads, and we've pushed them away because we didn't want to push them out to you guys. So the support would mean a lot if you guys help us grow the pod by giving us a good rating on wherever you're listening, all the things we just mentioned. So check that out. Also, if you haven't signed up to Clubs Poker yet, do so using the link in the description. That helps support the pod. They got all the mixed game cash games on there, as well as tournaments. So check all that out. Anything else, Wes?
That sounds good to me.
Congrats on the first week, my friend. And we'll be back next week to discuss how this next upcoming tournaments went.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. Today I think I'm going to hop in the 800 one day at Aria today again.
That sounds
There's
fun.
one at Aria, one at Venetian. There's a 2-day at Wynn. And then there's like a 1700 bracelet event, but I feel like that one's going to be
Is that the
Dusty
circuit
one
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be Dusty. I'd still play it. But isn't it, you just get, what a dream. Just get to wake up during the summer and just play whatever tournament you want, whenever you want. It's glorious, man. Well, tell all the house guys I said hi. Can't wait to get out there. We'll, I look forward to you paying for some of my dinners via credit card roulette. So
that's lovely. That's really lovely.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later. As for everybody else, we will catch you guys on the next episode of the Suited Kings podcast.